Welcome back. My name is Edward Gonzalez, and today we'll be talking about the Nikon Z6. So is the Nikon Z6 the best camera under $2,000? Is it the best camera to spend $2,000 on? The short answer to that is yes. I believe it's one of the best cameras out there. I believe it's for anyone that wants to build a system from the ground up. And if you're a Nikon user and you have lenses from the past, they're all usable with this system. For example, I have this 55 2.8 macro lens. It works perfect. A 24 manual lens from way back then as well. Usable. As well, any of the new autofocus lenses. This is what I use. Now, of course, you need the F2Z adapter. Right now, I'm using a 1635 f4, and it works really well. The one I'm looking forward to is the 14 to 24. Since I do a lot of real estate, that's the lens I use. And if it has low distortion, even better. Fun fact, I took the Z6 to get the upgrade on December 17th, and I was the first person through the doors. Not sure if that's a good thing to brag about. So I have some notes here, and let's get to the cons of the Nikon Z6 and see if we can just knock that out of the way to get to the pros of it. It requires you to use Final Cut Pro. If you're a Windows user, that's going to be a problem due to the fact that it's not native to the system. For me, I'm just waiting for Premiere to natively support ProRes RAW. So for now, I'm using both systems. I have the iMac 2013, and I've been using the trial version of Final Cut Pro, and that seems to work quite well. The process to that for me has been to convert it to ProRes 444XQ. The only reason I do it is so I can keep the dynamic range. It's a lot more usable. Expect to fill up that 1 terabyte quite fast. It also requires a Ninja 5 to do N-Log and ProRes RAW. You also need to send the camera for the upgrade to get RAW. If you want that upgrade, it's also going to cost you. This is ProRes RAW. It does require some help. Right now I'm shooting at f4, 1080, 24 frames per second. So let me pause here. It's not the fact that it needs help. It's the fact that the filter allows you to run the camera at an f4 with an ND32 filter. If you wanted to run this shot at a 2.8 or higher, I would highly recommend ND64 or better, maybe like a 128. So you can do those kind of high depth of field shots here outside. Also, control your highlights and shadows. Those are done in the Adamus histogram. Let me show you. So as you can see here, the histogram shows value of 1,000 to 0. The 0 is your shadows and the 1,000 is your highlights. You have to make sure that your highlights are within that range. If your highlights are between 800 to 1,000, you will get that back. If it's beyond that, if it flattens out, then you'll have a problem and you won't get any details back. It's not the fact that you'll be able to blow out everything without a problem. It just has to be within a certain range and you'll be able to get everything back. My histogram right now, I believe it's somewhere around 30 or 40, 300 to 400. So the histogram, it's under 100 for everything, the shadows and all that stuff, and nothing's capping in the blacks. Maybe that tree has some dark areas and that's what the zeros are, but you can get that back easily because everything is being exposed quite properly. So that's the reason why you need to properly expose. Cap the highlights, make sure your shadows are not touching 0. You'll be able to get the dynamic range you're after. Let's get back to what I was talking about and take it back to it. And this is me with a filter. Let's take that filter out and you'll see what we get. Filter, no filter. Filter. As you can see, big difference. This filter will cost you $65. It's an N32 and does a job just perfect. So if you're not a Nikon user, you will need a lens. And the one lens I found to be at the low end in cost is a Tokina 16 to 35, and it's an f2.8. And I'll have a link to the description and where to get it down below. The batteries thus far, they tend to last somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. So the Nikon Z6 came out about a year plus ago. I've been with the camera for almost 7 months. So what are the pros to this? Price is a good starting point for this system. It starts at about $18.95, I believe, and you get it with the F2Z adapter. And you can't go wrong if you have some lenses lying around. For me, having any lens, even from way back then, at hand, it's perfect for me. Having one card slot is not an issue to me. The XQD cards, they're perfect. don't buy into the negativity over the fact that it only has one card slot. Another great feature about it is, do you want to build up on it? And if so, the other feature of this is the fact that you buy a camera that's under $2,000 and you get full frame capabilities for video. The video quality is perfect. Colors are nice. But the fact that you can use a Ninja 5 in this system is really nice. It gives you a better screen resolution and size. You can record the ProRes RAW and N-Log directly to it via an HDMI cable. To get ProRes RAW, you will need to send the camera into Nikon, and Nikon has made it easy for you to get it back. I believe they said it was $17.50 for them to ship it back to you. Now, I'm not sure if that price rate is for California only. For me, it was going to be $17.50. I chose to come back and get it because I don't really trust any of the shipping companies as far as how they treat packages. If you're willing to drive to Nikon, just take it there. It costs, I think, $195 or $199 plus tax. So you'll end up paying somewhere around $220. The plus to that is the fact that you get the upgrade. 2, they clean your camera inside out. Also, before you take your camera to Nikon, remember that you need to upgrade the firmware to 2.2. If you don't do that, I'm not sure if they can do the upgrade, or will they charge you extra. So before you do so, it is specified on the website for you to actually do the upgrade before you take it in. I myself bought everything separately. I got the camera on its own, the Ninja 5 on its own, the mic on its own, my gimbal on its own. The upgradability on this system is quite high, and you can take your time with it. If you want to get the filmmaker's kit, that's perfect. It comes with a lens, a 24-70 f4 gimbal, and the mic. That will run you somewhere around $3,500, I believe. Whereas if you were to go my route, got the camera for $1,600, the mic for about $200, the Ninja 5, I got it for another $700. Between the XQD, the SSD, hard drive, and additional batteries, I probably spend an extra $350 to $400. So let's add up the cost, and that's how much it is. Another thing to address right now, I believe, is the focus system. Many people believe it is not up to par, and to me, that doesn't seem to be a problem. Everybody that's a pro will always tell you, work your camera in manual. You focus and compose your shot. Cinematography cameras, they all work in manual mode. And movies and everything you see out there that's professional level, that's how it works on manual. So the only reason I believe you may need autofocus is to do what we're doing right now, this, vlogging, or maybe if you're doing portrait photography. And for those two things, the Nikon Z6 works really well. As you can tell, the whole time we've been on autofocus in this shot, and it has not gone out. ProRes RAW is the ultimate feature for me that got me when it came out. So let me show you the focus system and show you how it works. Man, that sun is getting hard. Whew. Okay, I think it's time to go in. So we're back inside now. This monitor here will be our next review. I had it for about a week. I'm testing out the colors and everything, and I really like it. So now let's just focus on focusing. So there's basically 3 types of focus. There's regular focus, which is the autofocus, frame tracking area, and the third one is target focusing. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. As you can see, this one is just regular Nikon's autofocus. It does real well in the center. It's tracking areas that it believes you want to see. This is frame area tracking, where you select the portion of the frame that you want the camera to follow. Click OK button once. It pops up the focus tracker, and you put it wherever you want it to focus, and then just let it be. Don't press OK again or nothing. Just put it in the area where you want it to focus, and it'll do that. So the next one is target focusing, and on that one you press OK. You select the area you want to focus or the subject you want to focus, and then you press OK again to activate the tracking focus. The tracker, it's activated and tracking the backspace. So that's what focus tracking does. It could be for events, sports, or anything like that. You just select your subject and it will track it. Everything I do is real estate, everything's still, and I focus on a particular part of a home, and that's where I'm focusing on. So autofocus doesn't know exactly what I want to compose. So that's the reason why for me it's not the most important thing in a camera for my particular type of business use. If you use it for portraits, if you use vlogging, if you use it for documentaries, it does a really great job. So it's not as smart as you would like it to be, but for right now, it does the job just fine if you tell it what to do. I will be doing this review like I mentioned earlier on this monitor up next, or maybe a couple of videos down the line. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Give me your thoughts. Give me some feedback, hoping that you come back to watch some more. Other items that I have, other things that I may want to address. For now, I thank you again, and like always, I'll see you when you see me. So I'll see you.